Good day everyone, this is your Vedic Astrology coach Rajat Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Late Astrologer. In my channel I make videos on Vedic Astrology and I talk about the important transits and how these transits have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs. In case you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the bell icon. Please share this video with your friends in case you like it. If you wish to book a personalized consultation with me, you can check out the link to my website and also the process of reaching out to me. This video is about an important transit of the month of August. On 16th of August, Sun is going to enter in the sign of Leo, which is its own sign, and Sun is going to stay in the sign of Leo for about 1 month till 16th of September. So mid-August till mid-September is the annual transit of Sun in its home sign, the sign of Leo. This is where the king likes to sit, the natural 5th house. So it is an exciting transit for most people. Overall, I consider this very positive. This is when the Karakatva of the Sun or the significations of the Sun and its related Karakatvas are working to its full potential. Sun is the giver of all resources. Sun is the giver of light and life. Sun is the natural Karaka for the soul. He is the Atma Karaka, the father, the most consistent planet. That is why Sun represents consistency as well, because it has a fixed time to rise and a fixed time to set as well. So this is one time of the year which is quite important for most ascendants, because Sun, whichever house it is transiting at this point in time from mid-August till mid-September, is an opportunity for you to make the best use of resources which are related to that particular house. And interestingly, during this transit, Sun and Saturn, so Sun is the king and Saturn is the kingmaker, they will come in mutual aspect with each other. And this is twice in about 30 years that Sun and Saturn come in mutual aspect when they're in the sign of Leo and in the sign of Aquarius. Saturn is going retrograde in the sign of Aquarius and he is activating the sign of Leo, which is 7th from Saturn, because Saturn is retrograde, it is Vakri. I have mentioned this in my previous video as well. And this time Sun is transiting in the sign of Leo. So they are in mutual aspect with each other, which is quite significant as far as most of the ascendants are concerned. So the annual transit of Sun in the sign of Leo, Leo is denoted by Indra Aditya, and Indra is the king of all devas. Therefore, this transit is very important. On 16th of August, from a nakshatra point of view, Sun enters Magha nakshatra, which is ruled by Ketu. And during this time, wherever the sign of Scorpio falls in your chart, is going to demonstrate some sort of positive results, because Ketu gets exalted in the sign of Scorpio. On 30th of August, Sun will enter Purva Falguni nakshatra, which is ruled by Venus or Shukra. During this transit, wherever the sign of Pisces falls in your chart, is going to demonstrate some sort of positive results. And on 13th of September, Sun enters Uttara Falguni nakshatra, which is ruled by Sun himself. And during this time, wherever the sign of Aries falls in your chart, is going to demonstrate some sort of positive results. So between 13th of September till 16th of September, Sun is making a transit in the sign of Leo, which is its own sign. It is in the nakshatra of Uttara Falguni, which is its own nakshatra. It is also going to be the natural Atma Karaka during this time, because it will be at the highest degree compared to all the other grahas. So it's a very prominent transit, and these 3 or 4 days, Sun is extremely powerful, it is extremely strong. So any manifestations that you need to make with regards to Surya Devata or Sun, this is the optimum time to do that. During this transit, Sun is naturally activating the 4th cycle. 4th cycle means your home, mother, your comforts, property, vehicle, luxury. So these are some of the significations which will be on the rise during this time. So if you have any similar pursuits, any similar interests or transactions, this could be a potentially favorable time for you. I do consider this one of the finest transit of the year between mid of August till mid of September, particularly considering the fact that both Sun and Saturn are coming together and they are equally strong in the sign of Leo and Aquarius. So this axis, which is the 5-11 natural axis, is pretty much active. Who's going to have the maximum impact of this transit? Sun is also going to be coming in contact with Mercury and Venus. It will be forming a yoga with these planets. So in case you're running through a dasha, antardasha of Sun, Surya, Saturn, Mercury, Venus, Ketu, you are likely to be impacted by this transit. If you have prominent planets in the sign of Leo, in the sign of Aquarius, you are likely to be impacted by this transit. Sun will be aspecting the sign of Aquarius by its 7th aspect of desire. So, Sun wants to put its desire on the sign of Aquarius, which is the natural 11th sign. So, it wants you to bring in loyalty as far as 11th house matters are concerned, which is friends, your wider social network, your gains. Try to bring in some sort of consistency in your life as far as gains and your wider social network is concerned. So, from that aspect, it is quite a prominent transit. It is an important transit for us. I consider this as quite positive for most of the ascendants. Now, let's talk about how this transit is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs. At a physical level, you must read this transit from the ascendant sign, and at the mental level, you can also read this transit from the moon sign. Let us start with Aries ascendants. For Aries ascendants, Sun becomes the 5th lord. So, it is an important Yoga Karaka planet for you, and 5th lord becomes the most important planet for any ascendant. It rules future for you, children, progress. This is where we see progress because this is where the king likes to sit. It is very comfortable in this space. So, it is your 5th lord making a transit in the 5th house in a very powerful Sambandha it is making with Saturn, which is your 11th lord during this transit. Both are in mutual aspect with each other. On one hand, you have the king, on the other hand, you have the kingmaker. So, it is a perfect time to put all your energy, your resources, and firepower into your 5th house, which is all about future. So, an optimum time to sit down, set your goals. In case you are looking forward to having any sort of progression, positional success, this could be a particularly favorable time for you. Sun is aspecting your 11th house by its 7th aspect. So, it wants you to bring a sense of loyalty in your friendship with your wider social network, and also it is creating a natural Dhan Yoga in transit. So, as far as financial position is concerned, that is likely to improve during this time. In case you are looking forward to a rise in your income, increase in your income, it could be a potentially favorable time. But your resources are favorable when it comes to goal setting, when it comes to future planning, also when it comes to relationship with the children. Offer water to Sun, offer Argha to Surya, and do that in the morning. This could be absolutely beneficial for you. If you use any mantras related to Surya or the deity related to Surya, which is Shri Ramchandra, Lord Ram. So, this could be a potentially favorable time for you if you use any mantras, because we also see mantras from the 5th house. Okay, so this is one of the remedies for you. Now, one thing which you have to take care of is your digestive system, because you could have some stomach issues during this time. Sun is a Krura Graha and it is a Sattva Graha at the same time. It believes in honesty, it believes in consistency. So, try to bring in consistency as far as your future pursuits are concerned, and take care of your gut or stomach during this time. Overall, it is quite a positive transit for you. Welcome Sun in your 5th house, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Taurus ascendants and how Sun's transit in the sign of Leo is going to have an impact for Taurus ascendant signs. Sun becomes your 4th lord, the lord of your mother, homeland, your comfort space where you feel most safe, most protected. It is also the indicator of property, assets, vehicles. We also see this from the 4th house. It is your home, it is also your homeland and the people that are there. It is also the general public. Now, this Sun is making a transit in the 4th house itself. So, therefore, the firepower, consistency, resources are favorable when it comes to matters related to the 4th house. So, when it comes to your mother, homeland, so in case you are living outside, there could be a call back home. You might need to support people back home. You might need to support people at your homeland. You might need to put your resources in those things which make you feel happy, that make you feel content. You might need to take up some hobbies, some interest during this time. In case you have some real estate transactions or property related buying or selling, this could be a potentially favorable time for you in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive, or a purchase of a new vehicle as well. So, this would be dependent on your ongoing Dasha Antardasha, because resources are quite favorable during this time of the Sun's transit. Now, on contrary, we must understand that Sun gains directional strength in the 10th house. Okay. Now, when Sun comes in the 4th house, which is opposite to the 10th house, it is losing its direction. So, you might have to put in extra efforts as far as your resources are concerned. as far as managing the amount of consistency is concerned. Fourth house sun is kind of a midday sun. So one thing that you have to make sure is that you stay energized and hydrated all through the day. Another remedy for you could be to declutter your house, your home space, and try to bring in a sense of consistency in your routine which is there at your house and things that you do, and try to reorganize, rearrange some of the things which you have. So you need to put in extra efforts because sun is losing direction, so it needs some directions here. But the seventh aspect, which is falling on your 10th house, so there's a lot of fire, there's a lot of tej which is going on your 10th house. So there could be some changes as far as career is concerned, because sun wants to bring a sense of authority, leadership, and similar things as far as your 10th house matters are concerned, where you have a Saturn retrograde. So take care of your personal life, and at the same time navigate your professional life during this time. Okay. Overall, I do consider this as a mixed transit. From a remedy point of view, declutter your house, offer water to the sun first thing in the morning, and chant Aditya Hridaya Stotam during this time. You will be highly benefited. I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Gemini ascendant and what's happening with Gemini ascendants as far as sun's transit in the sign of Leo is concerned. For Gemini, sun becomes the third lord. It is a friendly planet to your Lagna lord Mercury, so it's more of a neutral planet for you. But this is the third lord. From a lordship perspective, it is not lording one of the good houses. Sun rules valor for you, courage, efforts. We see younger siblings from the third house. We also see Guru Upadesha, or a message, teachings of your mentor, teacher from this house. Therefore, this is also the house of learning. This is the house of growth because it is an Upachaya Bhava. This is also the house of communication and what we do from our right hand, things that we do from our hands. This sun is making a transit in your third house itself. So as far as resources are concerned, resources are favorable when it comes to effort. So mid-August till mid-September, you put in little efforts, you're likely to get more results from those little efforts, because there are blessings of Surya Devata. There is consistency that is coming as far as your efforts is concerned. So you will not shy away from putting efforts. There is firepower there. You will be more courageous during this time. You will have valor. This house also represents change. So there could be a change of place, change of residence, or change of any assignment or a project. This could also bring in some short contracts for you, because remember, sun is the initiator. It is the karaka for beginning something new, for starting something new. So you might also look at starting a new line of work, a new business. This could be a potentially favorable time if you're looking forward to taking or making any such decisions. By its seventh aspect, sun is aspecting a ninth house of Bhagya, fortune. So it wants to bring in consistency, it wants to bring loyalty and authority as far as long distance journeys are concerned, spiritual trips are concerned, spiritual sadhana is concerned. That is also something which we see from the ninth house. This could be a favorable time for you to connect with your father or your guru, get some Guru Upadesha or blessings from your mentor. This is activating your 3 and 9 axis. Travel is inevitable. That is on the cards. You will go on journeys, you will go on trips, and you need to make the most of it. There is Saturn which is going retrograde in your ninth house. Both are in mutual aspect. So this axis is pretty much active during this time. So this is one of those times wherein you also need to put in efforts in writing, doing things using your hands. One of the other remedies for you could be to work in your kitchen. This is a very real time remedy which always works. So anything that you do as far as your hands are concerned, you need to be doing that. You need to ensure that you keep yourself hydrated, because sun is in the third house and this house is second from your second house. So there is a lot of fire in your third house that is going. So make sure that you have plenty of water, at least 4 to 5 liters of water every day. The summer is at its peak, but at the same time you need to ensure that you keep yourself hydrated as well. Overall, it is a good positive transit, because being a natural malefic, sun does very well in the third house, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Cancer ascendants and what's happening with Cancer ascendants as far as sun's transit in the sign of Leo is concerned. This is an overall positive transit as far as sun in this sign is concerned, because it's a comfort space. Sun is the ruler of his second house of speech, family. It is the Kutumba Bhava. We see wealth from this house. We see accumulation, savings. This is also the house of possession. This is also the house of your resources, things that you store and share with your loved ones, how you would like to store, where you would like to store. This is all about storage, and Sun is coming into this house. So resources are favorable as far as wealth creating opportunities are concerned, because Sun is the initiator of everything. So it will initiate family, there could be expansion of family, there could be accumulation of wealth or savings. So you will take some financial decisions during this time. This is the time to bring in some discipline as far as your financial management is concerned, your financial ability is concerned. So these are some of the decisions that you can take as far as long-term investments or savings are concerned, which could be absolutely beneficial for you. Now, Sun is a naturally Krura Graha. It has a lot of firepower. So one thing that you have to be careful of is your speech. So be utmost cautious when you're talking to other people. You will have authority in your speech, but you need to channelize this authority appropriately so that you don't sound egoistic. So you have to keep the ego aside, not let that control your speech. So be very cautious when you're talking to people. Practice humility, stay grounded. This is what Sun demands from you. Okay, I mean, ego is good, but then we need to channelize that. Authority, aggression is good only if you channelize it well to the best of your ability. If you're channelizing it for wealth creating opportunities or a secondary source of income, or if you're putting your energy at work, it is good for you. But if you get into quarrels, argument, this could be detrimental to your overall well-being as well, because it could bring in some sort of stressful situation. Sun is making an aspect in your 8th house, which is its 7th aspect of desire. That's a 100% aspect, and it's in mutual aspect with Saturn during this time, which is making a retrograde transit in your 8th house. So it could bring in suddenness, it could bring change. So you need to increase your resilience quotient here. You need to be prepared with unnecessary changes. Whether it's a good change or a bad change will be dependent on your ongoing dasha antardasha. You would need some remedy as far as your speech is concerned, and also at the same time, another remedy for you is to drink plenty of water. Firstly, there is fire. Secondly, Saturn, which is a airy planet, is aspecting Sun during this time. So whenever fire and air they come together, it increases the fire. So you need to drink plenty of water, you need to keep yourself hydrated, and you need to channelize this aggression appropriately to the best of your ability. This is something you must do during this time. There is a sense of loyalty that needs to bring in within your family. So you need to take care of your people. You need to hold them, and of course take support, listen to your family members during this time, build cordial relationships and practice humility. Overall, it is a mixed transit for you, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Leo ascendants and what's happening with Leo ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Leo is concerned. So welcome Surya Devata in your Lagna, in your ascendant. It is an important transit for you, and this happens once a year, and this time Sun is in a mutual aspect with your 7th Lord Saturn. So both the king and the kingmaker are aspecting each other. They are equally powerful because Saturn is Mool Trikon sign, it is retrograde, Sun is in its own sign, its comfort space. This is where the king is, and this is where he likes to be. When you welcome Surya Devata in your Lagna ascendant, one thing which I always say is that you must worship Lord Shiva during this time for the entire month. As I am recording this video, this is the holy month of Savan which is going on. So please worship Lord Shiva to get the most of it. Sun rules yourself, your body, personality, vitality, immunity. We see intelligence from this house. It's the most important house, and the most important Lord is the Lagna Lord. If Lagna Lord is placed in strength, it could negate a lot of negative things in the chart and the overall horoscope, because it gives strength and courage to people to deal with things. It gives very good decision making capabilities, because this is where your intelligence is being used to its optimum. And this time Sun is coming in your ascendant itself. There's a lot of firepower that is coming in your ascendant. So it is time to increase your intelligence. It is time to leverage the resources which favor you to do things for your own self. It is time to be more self-centered, not think of the whole world, but think about yourself. Self-care, your overall health, immunity, that needs focus during this time. You need to focus a lot on your well-being. You need to focus on your decision making and see how these decisions could be in the best interest of your future. and also with regards to your spouse or those people who you are in relationship with, the people who are opposite to you, because this Sun is making a 7th aspect on your 7th house where Saturn is there, and Saturn gains directional strength in the 7th house. Sun is the significator of the Lagna or the ascendant, and it is making a transit in the ascendant. So, it is a very powerful axis which is activated during this time. So, partnership, relationship, or if you would like to start a new business, could be a potentially favorable time because your decision making is going to be pretty much strong. You will have influence of Mercury in your ascendant, you will have influence of Venus in your ascendant, and Sun coming together. Your personality is going to improve and you're going to take some good decisions during this time. So, without a doubt, it is a positive transit for you and an optimum time for you to make the most of it with the kind of decisions that you make today are going to decide the fate for your tomorrow, which is totally in your hands, and for that I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Virgo ascendants and what's happening with Virgo ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Leo is concerned. For Virgo, Sun becomes the 12th lord. This is the lord of losses, expenditure, your higher self-consciousness, the house of sleep, or the comforts in your room or pet comforts. We also see self-awareness from the 12th house. We see the ability to give from the 12th house. This Sun is making a transit in the 12th house itself. So, as far as resources are concerned, resources are favorable to make donations, to help others. From a spiritual point of view, because this is also the natural moksha bhava, because this is the highest trinal house as far as moksha trine is concerned or moksha trikona is concerned. So, from that perspective, an excellent time for spiritual pursuits because resources are favorable there. On contrary, Sun attains Maran Karaka position as far as 12th house is concerned. So, what could happen in this transit is that significations of Sun or Surya are getting lost somehow, which is consistency. You would need to put more efforts to be more consistent. So, for example, if you are struggling to rise up early, this will continue. You will have to put in more efforts to sort out your life. You will have to put in more efforts to become more self-aware. You will have to put in more efforts to improve your sleep, which will need focus during this time, because if you don't sleep for 7 to 8 hours, you will be very low as far as your energy is concerned. You could have certain health issues as well. So, these are some of the things which you have to take care of. On the other side, your father could really go out of the way to support you, to help you during this time, or some father figure. So, make sure that you listen to them, make sure that you maintain cordial relationships with your father during this time. Now, this Sun is making a 7th aspect on your 6th house, and it is in a mutual aspect with Saturn during this time. So, your 6-12 axis is pretty much active in case you're about to take like a foreign trip or visit a foreign land or thinking of a permanent foreign settlement or a permanent move. This could be related to your work, this could be related to your education as well. This could be a potentially favorable time where you can get some support from the government as far as movement of the paperwork is concerned or the stamp is concerned. So, this will depend on your ongoing dasha antardasha during this time. But one thing which you must do during this time is donate to those who are in need. That is the ultimate remedy for you, and fix your sleep during this time. This is something which you must do. Overall, this is naturally a mixed transit for you, and I wish you the very best. Now, let us talk about Libra ascendants and what's happening with Libra ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Leo is concerned. It is mostly a positive transit because Sun is your 11th lord. So, from a lordship perspective, Sun does not have a good lordship as far as Libra ascendants are concerned, because 11th house naturally becomes a badak and it rules obstacles. But at the same time, Sun is making a transit in the 11th house itself. So, from a lordship point of view, this is the ruler of your gains, because we see aya, income, gains of all kind, material life. We also see the purpose of birth from the 11th house. So, this is an extremely important house. Its lord becomes a malefic because this house also represents bigger enemies, because it is 6th from your 6th house. This also represents friends, this also represents your wider social network. So, there are a lot of contradictions as far as this house is concerned. This is also the house of contradictions. This is also the house of recognition. This is also a house of getting fame or popularity, because it helps you increase your influence. And Sun is making a transit in the 11th house itself. So any planet that makes a transit as far as 11th house is concerned does very well. And this house will also have energies of Venus, which is your Lagna Lord, energies of Mercury, which again has an important lordship for you, because Mercury for you is an important planet. It is your Bhagyesha. So at the same time, this is an important transit for you because your 11th house is pretty much active. There is Saturn, which is making a transit in your 5th house in a retrograde motion. So your 5-11 axis is pretty much active. So decisions related to future, which are linked to your gains. Increase in income is quite promising during this time. If your Dasha, Antardasha is supportive, you would also be inclined towards luxuries, towards spending and gains of all kind. Because resources are favorable as far as gains are concerned. So this is something which you must watch out for. You might need to improve your relationship with some old friends during this time, because you could have some karma related to some of these things. So watch out for it. And at the same time, if you were to, also be grounded or humble and get into any, compromising situation, or if you were to accommodate, do not shy away from doing it if it is in the best interest for you to build relationship. Resolve conflicts through a collaborative approach. This could be a potential remedy for you during this time. The Sun is aspecting your 5th house by its 7th aspect of desire. It wants to put the resources as far as future is concerned, and also your relationship with children. So this is pretty much active. In case you're looking forward to having a child or children, this could be a potentially favorable time for you to plan. And as far as progress is concerned, this is also a favorable time, because that house itself represents authority and it is being aspected by Sun. So overall, it is definitely a positive transit as far as gains are concerned, and for that I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Scorpio ascendants and what's happening with Scorpio ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Leo is concerned. For Scorpio ascendants, Sun holds an important lordship. It's more of a neutral graha, but it's your 10th lord. It lords the strongest or the most important quadrant houses, and this Sun is making a transit in the 10th house itself. So firstly, Sun gains directional strength in the 10th house. So there are blessings of the Devata, there are blessings of Surya Devata, there are blessings of Lord Ram during this time, there are blessings of Shiva during this time. Sun, which is your 10th lord, which is your Karmesha, lord of your profession, what you do to survive, sustain in this world. Sun rules work of all kind, whether it is business, profession, job, or anything that you do in order to earn a living. Therefore, it's an important lordship. The Sun is making a transit in the 10th house itself. It gains directional strength. It is quite a positive transit because resources are favorable as far as work opportunities are concerned. If it's your existing work, you could see some sort of improvement because there could be support of your seniors. There could be support of your bosses. There is Saturn, which is retrograde in your 4th house, trying to disrupt your comfort space, helping you step out of your comfort zone. So this 4-10 axis is quite active. On one hand, Sun is aspecting your 4th house by its 7th aspect. It also wants you to put the resources there so that you step out of your comfort zone, do something new, take up a new project or an assignment. But this could be a karmic time, firstly to connect with your mother or take care of your mother, and then you can also come in contact with some ex-colleagues or your previous bosses or someone that you have worked with in the past. In case you have some government dealing, paperwork or any similar work that is there, you could have some movement during this time because resources are favoring you during this time. Declutter your house, ensure that you keep your house clean. At the same time, ensure that you keep your workplace clean and tidy. Sun demands consistency in your life. Sun demands you to rise up as per the sunrise, because this is the kind of message which it is giving you, and bring in consistency as far as your work is concerned. Try to finish on time and try to also focus on your overall well-being and your personal life as well at the same time. Overall, it's a good transit and I wish you have immense new opportunities coming your way, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Sagittarius ascendants and what's happening with Sagittarius ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Leo is concerned. For you, Sun becomes the ninth lord, the lord of Bhagya or fortune, father figure, higher education, long journeys, spiritual journeys. We also see spirituality from the ninth house. Sun is making a transit in the ninth house itself. Your ninth lord in the ninth house, it's quite a strong transit because Sun is the Bhagyesha for you. It is the lord of your fortune. So as far as resources are concerned, as far as initiation is concerned, consistency is concerned, firepower is concerned, that is there in the Bhagya. On top of that, Sun is also one of the significators for the ninth house. So from that aspect, again, it is positive. You're likely to go on spiritual journeys, long journeys, and if you have some long journeys, this could be a potentially favorable time for you because your 3-9 axis is pretty much active. There is Sun in your ninth house, there is Saturn in your third house. The king is sitting in the ninth house, the kingmaker is sitting in the third house. So this is the perfect time to start a journey. When I say start a journey, this could be establishing a new line of work or starting something new. In case you're looking forward to getting a residence outside of your home country, this could be a potentially favorable time. This could also be linked to some real estate opportunities that could be there outside of your homeland or the home country, and you could do some transactions there. Start of a journey, go on spiritual tours. This is a potential remedy for you. You might also need Guru Upadesha, guidance or blessings of your mentor during this time. There is Saturn which is retrograde in your third house, and it could create some confusion as far as communication is concerned. So for that, take advice of your mentor during this time. This is also one of the potential remedies for you. Sun is aspecting your third house by its 7th aspect. So it wants you to put your resources in learning, in coping up with change, in improving your communication, bringing the firepower and the sense of authority as far as your communication is concerned. So overall, it is a positive and a blessed transit for you. Worship Surya Devata, use mantras related to Surya during this time, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Capricorn ascendants. For Capricorn ascendants, Sun becomes the 8th lord, so it does not have a good lordship, but Sun does not have any dosha as far as 8th house or 8th lordship is concerned, so it is more of a neutral planet for you. This is the lord of longevity, transformation, sudden ups and downs, suddenness in life, mysterious things in life, hidden things in life, distant far off places, unknown people, different languages, across places that are across the sea. This is something which we see from the 8th house. We also see in-laws from the 8th house and inheritance from the 8th house. Okay. Hidden wealth is also seen from the 8th house. Sun is making a transit in the 8th house itself. So this is a Viparita Yoga in transit, which means things could be challenging, but eventually you will rise within this transit. Thankfully, Sun is in its own sign, so it is a comfort space that it has as far as 8th house matters are concerned. But you could expect suddenness, you could expect certain changes because there are energies of Mercury, there are energies of Venus, and also Sun that are going through your 8th house. And then there is Saturn, which is going retrograde in your 2nd house, is also aspecting the Sun by its 7th aspect. So your 8th house is pretty much active. Change is inevitable. There could be some financial decision. There will be certainly financial improvement during this time because Sun is aspecting your 2nd house by its 7th aspect. It has a stronger aspect compared to Saturn there. So it will try and channelize and put resources to improve your finances and also create a secondary source of income for you. If you're looking forward to getting some inheritance, you will have the courage to cope up with this change by your communication and by your relationship building skill. Try to come out of your shell. Try to build good positive relationship with people which could be favorable for you. Now on a spiritual side, this could be a potentially favorable transit because your spiritual practices will improve considerably because this time has already made you quite a tough nut to crack. But at the same time, if you improve and increase your spiritual pursuit, it could make you quite strong as far as at the mental level is concerned, and that's something which you need consistently throughout this time. Overall, I do not consider this as a bad transit. It's a Viparita Yoga. Eventually you will rise, but be prepared for transformation, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Aquarius ascendants and what's happening with Aquarius ascendants as far as Sun's transit is concerned. This is your 7th lord, the lord of partnership, those people who are opposite to you, marriage, relationship, harmony. 7th house is the Jaya Bhava, which represents peace as well as war. This is the 7th lord making a transit in the 7th house itself, which is the house of opposition, and also contracts, agreements, business, and most importantly your spouse or your relationship. So relationship is going to be the focus of the hour from mid of August till mid of September, because Surya Devata demands loyalty, demands commitment and consistency as far as business relationship matters are concerned. There will be energies of Venus, there will be energies of Mercury in your 7th house, which will again demand a lot of attention as far as partnerships is concerned. As far as those people who are opposite to you is concerned, the general public is concerned. So if you have a line of work which is a lot to do with dealing with public, dealing with other people, you could be benefited during this time. Now Sun is losing a bit on its strength because Sun likes to rise in the east, which is your ascendant, that is the happy state of Sun. When Sun is setting, it is quite calm. The fire is not rising, but it is rather setting up. So it's not the most comfortable space for Sun. And moreover, there is Saturn, which is going retrograde in your ascendant, which is already bringing a sense of discipline there. Both of them are in mutual aspect with each other. Sun, by its 7th aspect, is aspecting your ascendant. So a lot of Tej, fire power is going in your ascendant, which will bring in intelligence, which will improve your decision making during this time, which will also improve your immunity, because that is also something which Sun represents. It is the significator of vitality. So there's a lot of firepower and teja which is coming in your ascendant. Be careful about your decisions in terms of ensuring that you make the correct decision, but at the same time don't let this ego sit on your head. Okay, channelize your ego appropriately, stay grounded, stay humble during this time. Your 1 and 7 axis is pretty much active. Now take support of your partner and at the same time offer your support as well. So this is a partnership. It's like a give and take which you need to have, and so you need to just channelize the energies of Surya appropriately during this time, because it is missing out on a kind of direction. So it needs a lot of effort at your end. Overall, this is a mixed transit for you and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Pisces ascendants and what's happening with Pisces ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Leo is concerned. This is your 6th lord making a transit in the 6th house itself, which is creating a Viparita yoga. Circumstances could be adverse, however, eventually you will rise. Sun rules daily routine for you, jobs, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. It is more of a neutral graha as far as Pisces ascendants are concerned. This also rules your Shadripu or 6 enemies of your mind, your competition, enemies, those people who oppose you, those people who suppress you. Those are the kind of challenges in life. This Sun is making a transit in the 6th house itself. Sun shares a friendly relationship with your Lagna Lord, so it will help you overcome any kind of competition during this time. Sun is a natural malefic and a planet which does very well naturally as far as 6th house is concerned. 6th house is one of the Upachaya Bhavas, the house of growth. Sun is the significator of resources, consistency, initiation, firepower. Anything new that we start, even a new job, firstly what matters is the placement of Sun and the connection of Sun in the chart. Sun is the initiator of all Raj Yogas. So if you have a Raj Yoga, it will initiate by the virtue of Sun, by the blessings of Sun. So it plays a very important role. It is a Viparita yoga for you. Sun wants to bring in consistency as far as your daily routines are concerned, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Expect some sort of change in your job. You could have a new project, something that is different. You could deal with some unknown people. You could deal with foreigners as well during this time, or people from other cultures, and that could be quite beneficial for you. This Sun is aspecting your 12th house, 12th house of sleep, comforts. There is a retrograde Saturn that is making a transit in your 12th house in the sign of Aquarius. So there are 2 Viparita yogas that are going on as far as mid of August till mid of September is concerned, circumstances could get adverse, but eventually you will rise and you will rise out very good. So this is something which you must understand during this time. Okay, your 6th and 12th axis is pretty much active. Spiritual quotient is going to increase during this time. So practice spirituality, yoga, sadhana, any such practices that you do, or meditation as well, you are likely to be benefited by this transit. You need to work a lot in fixing your daily routine, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. The king is making a transit in your 6th house, overcoming enemies, overcoming competition. Overall, it is a blessed transit, it is a good transit for you, and I wish you the very best. So this was about Sun's transit in the sign of Leo, which is happening from mid of August till mid of September. I hope and believe Sun's transit, Indra Aditya, in the sign of Leo brings a sense of rejuvenation and puts a lot of focus and all our resources in future pursuits and in positional success for all of us. Thank you very much. God bless you all.